Hello, my friends, once again. This is Kache here with Kache's Bow Plus. This is the third video in a series that I've been recording as I've been doing a single hunt here. There's room in this hunt for one more person, and so far nobody else has come into the hunt. Now, that's because I do have the hunter level at a minimum of 130, and unless they've been doing some serious hunting, of course, they're not going to have a hunting level like that, so I might not get anybody come in to hunt with me. But in the meanwhile, I'm after Roosevelt elk. I'm also taking whitetail with iron sights in the event that I happen to come across one that's worth taking. In the course of this hunt, let me just stop moving here. In the course of this hunt, and we started up there where the lodge is, you can see that I've taken a Roosevelt elk at 172, another Roosevelt elk at 165, and I have taken a whitetail. He was a little fork buck at a 53. I actually removed him because everywhere I went, he was molesting my hunt. He kept following me around and running off the elk. So, in fact, that's in previous videos if you want. In fact, just the last video is the one where I took him out. But so I started this map at 7 a.m. I waited until 7:30 game time, which meant I waited around 15 minutes in case somebody showed up to hunt. And so from 7:30 game time to 8:41 game time is the amount of time that's passed in which I've taken these three animals. I'm barely out of camp, and so you can see that a lot of animals. 7 o'clock is a really, really good time on this map. There we go. There he is. I figured he's moseying on this way. Yeah, and he's got a pal with him, huh? Alrighty, so there's two more of them wandering this area down here. Like I say, I've already taken two out of here. One that was kind of a mottled brown and one that was colored normally. Oh, guys, talk about a heartbreaker. You know, when you do this hunting in this game, be darn sure that you've paid attention to your firearm and you're carrying appropriate ammo for the animals that you're hunting. About a week back, I was hunting here in Red Feather Falls, and I come up over a rise, and I saw an elk. Now, this was an albino elk, and it had the biggest rack on any elk that I've seen in the game so far. And at that time, unfortunately, I didn't have quite the levels to be able to make an estimate of his score. But his rack was bigger and thicker and wider, and he was bigger than any other elk I had ever seen. I got all excited because I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that albino elk was a record. If it was not a record for the season, it was going to be a record for the contest I was in. And man, I got excited. And I was so damn excited, I brought up the wrong firearm and shot him. I'd been hunting with slugs in my shotgun, but had switched out and was not paying attention, and the next thing you know, shot him with the round ammo and disqualified myself. So I lost what would have been most likely a record hunt because I wasn't paying attention. So that's very important, but that's what we were looking for right there. He's right on the border. So we're actually going to take the time to call him in so that he doesn't run across the border if we hit him. But I've been trying to get a conversation in with this feller for a little bit here. So let's lay down some of this elk urine right here. I'm going to talk a little smack to him, tell him I'm here to steal his girlfriend. And now I'm going to tell him his girlfriend is interested. And if that don't tee him off, nothing will. You're going to come in from that general direction right there. And as a matter of fact, I'm just going to ease myself over and back a little bit off of where I just laid the scent so that we've got a little bit of a better shooting area. This brush will not provide me any actual concealment because it's just visual. The trees provide concealment, but the brush does not. Come on, bud. I'm over here trying to steal your girlfriend. And she thinks I'm cute. See, she just said so. In fact, she's going to ask me for my number. There you go. She just asked me for my number, bro. You best get your business over here. She can go home with me. Talk to you, fool. All right. Now, that was a lot of calls, and now I'm going to stop calling completely. I'm going to kick a fresh little pop of the scent. If I call anymore, I'm number one going to disturb the other animals in the area, and number two, he's going to know right where I am. See, the whole point is when you call with at least 30-second intervals, more if possible, because then they hear you, they want to know where you are, and they come looking for you. Whereas if you call and you call and you call and you call, they know right where you are. They don't have to come looking for you. See? That's the logic behind it. Yo, dude, it's been quiet over here quite a while. It means we might be over here smooching. Just get over here. And let me all be fronting to you on your own block. Now I'm going to stick to female calls. Oh, is that? Yeah, that's not him. That is a bush, I think. I'm trying to get off of these tracks so that if he calls, I can mark him. There's so many tracks under me that it keeps bleeping. Come on, dude. He's quite a ways off. It'll take him a bit to get to us. You can't overscent. You can overcall a little bit, but you can't overscent. Now, the Game Wiki says that you cannot overcall. In many cases, when it's talking about calling animals in, so go ahead and call. You can't overcall. But I like to keep it like it is in the real world, where you can overcall. So, I feel him. He's out. Ooh, about halfway between us and that dotted line. Right out there. I'm going to creep up real easy. See, because we might get one come from the lake behind us because they hang a lot there. And so I'm kind of trying to move where I've got a little bit of cover behind me in case one comes rolling up behind. We can manage to set up the shot on him. Pull myself just right up here. We might see him when we top this. Oh, you hear him? Just give him a little honk. Or more accurately, give him a little snort and then give him a little honk. Where are you, Chumley? I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, he's coming in right in over there somewhere. He might be starting to flank us, though. They like to flank right at the tail end of their approach. He might be trying to flank us on the low side, but we're going to pretend he's not. Oh yeah, I hear him. I can hear his footsteps. Kind of hard to pick up among the wind. I don't know if you guys are getting as good a sound as I am or not, quite honestly. I'm wearing some Turtle Beach 7 headphones, so they've got real good sound for this kind of stuff. Am I going to have to talk some more smack to you to get you to show yourself? Wonder if my scent cover has worn off. Let's see. No, it says I got 5 minutes. I'm going to renew it anyway. It says we got 5 minutes. Creep up a little closer. He's being hesitant. I think he's just on the other side of this rise, trying to decide what to do with himself. Normally I have a route that I travel when I've got someone with me, but I figured since nobody's joined up for this hunt, that I'd just do some stock hunting and stuff. Make sure you see plenty of animals and get plenty of shots. Sure glad my cell phone wasn't in my pocket in the real world on a hunt. That'd sure wreck things. Yeah. I've kind of got up close and personal with this guy twice during the course of this hunt, and so there's a real good possibility that he's just being just a little too leery, little too leery, little too leery. I'm just gonna ease up to this rise, push over to this side, and then that way when we get up here on the edge of the hill, if he's still down there, we'll be able to spot him out in there. I think he may have actually wandered across the border. He was approaching. But I'm not sure what turned him around. We might have a doe out there someplace that's fiddling around. All right. Well, I'm going to give him one more good holler, and if we don't hear back from him, then we're headed to the stand. Open up my view here just a little bit. Yeah, I think he decided that discretion was the better part of valor. Alright. Well, and what we're going to do from here is finish heading in to the stand. And as you can see, our route carries on from there. I guess you can't get one every time. Oh, we're sure going to try. There was a doe. Man, I'm really not interested in hunting and shooting does, quite honestly. We're going to work our way over towards the stand. And we're probably going to run her out of there, which isn't going to help much in terms of our hunting situation. And we're going to keep a real close eye open as we move, see if maybe that elk changed and what's coming in on us from a different direction. If you're not familiar with the controls, WASD, of course, is for normal movement. If you hit Q, it sets you to walk, and you can walk hands-free. And if you hit X, that will then allow you to use what's called free look, so that as you're walking in one direction, you can look all around to keep an eye on your environment while you're moving. And that's what I'm doing here, is free looking. And X again to come out of free look. Start to adjust my course, work my way over to that stand. There's that doe again. And I'm just going to pause right here and take a look on the shore. Many, many times I've taken a white-tailed buck or an elk off of this shore. Approaching from this side. Hey there, crow. Well, does not look like anybody's there. Usually I come through here a little after 7 in the morning, about 7:20, 7:25. Normally it's not quite this late, so I have to say I don't know quite for sure what tends to hang around here this time in the morning. When I'm hunting whitetail or mule deer, when I'm hunting elk or I'm hunting moose, I generally start at 7 a.m. And as you can see, we're at 9:08. And every 1 minute of time in the real world, oh, there was that doe up the hill to the left there. Every minute of time in the real world is 2 minutes of time in the game world. So as you can see, we started at 7, it's now 9:09, which means I've been playing for roughly an hour and 5 minutes. And I've actually recorded pretty much the entirety of that, so to show you guys what it's like going out on a hunt with me and whether or not I can actually, get you to where the animals are. We're going to ease our way up to this stand. And I'm going to settle in there for just a little bit. Just see if we might be able to talk a big old whitetail into coming and shaking her hand. We actually are going to use the road. A lot of people will say do not run. A lot of people will say don't use the trails. But in actuality, it depends on what you're doing. Now, for instance, Loggers Point, of course, which is where people go to, do a lot of their first hunting. If you know where and when to run on Loggers Point, you can take every major animal on that map and push them all into a small area and then sneak into that area and hunt and take yourself champion deer out of there, People say, oh my God, you're running, you're going to scare everything out for 150 yards. Well, sometimes that's the point. If I know that the first 3 fields I pass through are going to have whitetail and mule deer, but they're always going to be too far away and they're going to pull to the second field the second that I enter the first field, well, then I might as well run into the second field, push them out of that first field all the way to the third field so that I can stock up on them, and they're so oblivious by the time I get to field number 3, I can take 3 deer out of that field. There are times in this game, and I do stress in this game, that it is appropriate to run, that it is useful to run, that it is beneficial to run. Yeah, some of the guys, when I take out a crew of 3 or 4 people and I get them set up in position and then I go out and make a drive, that's exactly what I do. I go out and I run. I run the appropriate course in the appropriate direction to push the deer off over where they are, and pretty soon there go the gunshots. Boom, 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 so running can have its purpose. All right, guys, well, here we are up in the stand. You can see it's a beautiful view down onto this water. This is a fantastic place. If there were mule deer in this area, in this reserve, they would hang out in a spot like this, because this is what mule deer love. They love water with woods. Whitetails tend to love low areas. When you're chasing a whitetail, if you've shot one and you're pursuing him and you lose track of him, check the low spots. They like to run in the low spots. They'll initially, when you make the shot, they will get a high point between you and them as quickly as humanly possible, and then after that, they will stick to the low areas, and if there's no low areas, they will enter copses of trees and change directions while in the copses of trees. Every time. All right, guys, well, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the sound of the rain. Sorry we didn't manage to whack one on this part of the expedition, but we're now into the part of the morning where they're starting to bed down, especially with this rain, they'll bed down, so I'm going to get out your hair. But thank you for joining me for this 3rd section of this open hunt. And you just remember, if you're going to be a bar, be a grizzly. I'm out. Peace.